Okay.
Okay, and now this is the Bill Tracy Emma's corridor. He was always very famous for all his optical illusions. So this, and then also the one thing you notice in here is the smell, and that's from the motor and its contacts against the track create the burnt smell that everyone associates this ride with. Okay, we're gonna go through the spinning tunnel now. Please watch your heads.
Oh, you have to look at this board so high, so it's tilting.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's wacky.
So this tunnel that you're going through, this is like the first black hole vortex tunnel ever. So yeah, so this is the grandfather black hole vortex tunnel I tell everyone about.
That's the one they had to take apart in 2 pieces. To do.
Right, yeah. Wow. Yeah, because you can see the seam where they.
I looked up and I did this.
Oh, yeah.
Down and it's fine.
All right, now this scene right here, this door was taken off the cottage. There was a cottage next to Rainbow Gardens, and that's where Mr. Nelson's mother lived in the park before she passed. So when they tore it down to build a picnic shelter, they saved the door. They put the door up in here, and then they add the door knocker sound effect to it as well. This next scene, this is Spirit up here back in 1982. This is not a Bill Tracy piece, but this is a piece from a company that was short-lived called Fear Tech. And Waldameer bought a couple of Fear Tech pieces. This piece of theirs was called the Apparition. And this Batwing skull right here, this is a very interesting piece. I don't know if many of you know, but back in 1984, the Great Adventure Amusement Park, their haunted house caught on fire and burnt down, and I think it was 9 or 10 people were like killed in the fire. The guy who made that attraction, George Mahana, he made his bats, and what had happened was after the fire, he was so spooked that he left New Jersey, moved to Florida, and he left all of his molds behind in this storage area behind the diner at the park. And so a guy that I know, Mark Klein, who's a fiberglass artist, he acquired all the molds when one day he was sitting in the diner having lunch, and the owner of the diner said, "Hey, I have something that you might be interested in," and then he showed him all the old George Mahana molds. So it's kind of nice to have like a piece of that kind of history here in the park. And then also, Lois, this is like called the Scooby-Doo door. When you open it up, it takes you into the strobe room. So that's like kind of a nice little short work or car stop. You want to come around here, please? Yeah, 3 bodies on it. Bill put 3 bodies on it. The first body is the only remaining one we have left. Unfortunately, they threw out the other 2 bodies. I took the body home. I repainted it. I had a piece of vacuum form. I put that on the barrel. I still got a couple more pieces of vacuum form I'm going to add on. I added the skeleton that's coming up, and I used a really nice ultraviolet paint called Optical White from Wildfire. I've used it in a lot of places in here, and it's just like the best white that I found. This hanging head here, he's another piece from Fear Tech. We came in the park around 1982. And then this body on the end coming up, the head was just a non-close prop, but the body itself came from like a show over at Kennywood. When they took that right out in 1999, I was able to acquire one of the pieces, and this was in the guillotine scene inside like the show. So we were able to keep it and then transfer it into another Darkride. So that worked out very well for us. this next scene that we're looking at, first of all, this is called the rat attic scene, and as you go through this with the house lights off, this is probably my favorite scene with the way everything is set up and the way it glows. It looks absolutely stunning under black light with our spider frames at the end moving back and forth. Now this Joe Gould piece, this was also added back in 1982, and I'm not for sure if this is a Tracy piece or not. It certainly looks like one, but no one's positive on that. Originally, what used to be here was like a stack of barrels that like leaned out, and the barrels would swing back and forth the whole time you were approaching the corridor. And then when you got to the barrels, they'd come out in front of you, and there was a board that came out, and the car would hit the board, and then it would like push the barrels back. And unfortunately, that scene only lasted just a few years, and then it was taken out. I'm really not for sure why, but that is no longer with us. So.
Want more space than double.
That's all right. Doesn't matter.
Hey, Steve. Y'all carry that.
Okay. Yeah.
You hear that? Follow.
What's that? And then originally, these worded that they used to like alternate, but not the right way of Friday. So then that kind of just cut them down to the park and let them open that way. Now, the skeleton up here, he was originally the rest of the building is put back there. Because they added this heartbeat about a few years after the mine opened. So we have that still here. I don't know if we can fit that back in those amps or not. But if you come back for our 50th birthday in 2 years, we're going to have a special surprise. We're going to take people up on the catwalk to look around. So start making your reservations.
Cool. All right. What'd you say?
2 years.
Make the bunkhouse out here for.
2 years, the 50th anniversary.
I
They're
know,
gonna
you
let you
say
on the
reservations like we're
catwalk.
gonna stay up.
Yeah.
Sleep here.
Is everyone in there?
They're getting regulars.
Okay.
Let's walk over there.
Yeah.
Now this striped room that Bill Tracy put in here, these boards are the original paint from 1970. He brought all the sheets in. They were painted like this. We've not touched anything in this room. This is all the original paint. And then right here in the middle of this ride, where these strips are, back around here, they used to have a motor on each side of the track. And as the car would cross over, it would go up on a ramp, and there was a motor under the ramp, and the car would shake you really hard. But then after a couple of years, they realized that wasn't really good for the car. bolts were falling off. So then they disarmed the motors, and they just took those out just a couple years ago, actually. So.
Watch. Yeah.
That would glow under black light. So I use that recipe rather than just paint it green. You know, so we use that recipe. So he turned out really well. I was glad we were able to save him, and I was even better the fact that when he broke it, threw out his pieces right back in the tub. So that worked out really, really good. So we were able to save a piece of history.
Was he originally made from mache?
Pardon?
Was he originally made from mache or fiberglass?
He was like some kind of like plaster kind of material.
Okay.
You know, but I use like liquid nails and some Loctite premium adhesive to put them back together. Then I primed them, and then I started painting them down. So.
Yeah, good job.
Very good
Very
job.
good job.
Yeah, so he came out really good, and you know you can see the pictures of the progress on him because he was like a real disaster, you know. But I was just really glad, you know, I mean, because really the park could have just thrown it all out because it looked like just a bunch of junk, but they didn't. So I'm glad we, you know, still have that piece. So okay, let's go on to the bar room.
You can't even tell.
No, you can't tell. It looks really good.
Wow.
Excellent job.
Okay.
So this is the car scene Perry's talking about. And as the car comes and activates the light, Matilda is what Perry named her. She has her back to you, and then she swings around, and that face used to always really frighten me when I was little. I'll never forget that face. It's always a very frightening face. And in fact, over the Pirate's Cove, we have a lunging hermit right as you enter right as you exit the bridge, and the hermit has the same face as this piece here. So Bill Tracy used that face in quite a few of his pieces. They used to also have where X Scream is now. They used to have a pirate up in the crow's nest, and he would look down at you with his periscope telescope, and he had the same face as well.
Actually, at Shrimpers, some of those characters have the same face too.
Yeah, it looks. The old beer cans.
Okay, and this is the Bill Tracy Swan Coast. Perry told me that when this came in, it was all one piece, and they had to cut it in half to get it to fit. You can see right here the seam line on that. This is the haunted pool. A couple years ago, I took optical white as well on all these icicles that are hanging down. We painted those with optical white. I dry brushed optical white onto the Bill Tracy skull that I was telling you guys about at the beginning of the tour. The optical white just looks fantastic in this room. I can't say enough about the optical white. It just really adds a nice pop to this room. And this hippo, it's a Bill Tracy hippo, of course. You know, you saw a few of those in the different Tracy displays, but I think Waldameer is probably the only one who has one of these hippos left. So, yeah. And then over here is the giant rat that you heard earlier. And then originally in this room at the end where Steve's standing, we just have a water curtain, just like they have at the Canobles. And then when you would get to the doors, the water would shut off and the car would pass through. So hopefully sometime maybe we can get that back in. I don't know. You never know. We'll put stuff in the
This rat, okay.
The whistling or the rat? The rat itself.
The rat.
And then
Ryan?
that's Ryan.
Why Ryan?
Yeah.
Why Ryan?
That's what the company made him call me.
Oh,
So we're just going by that.
okay.
He came from a company called Distortions out of Greeley, Colorado. They have all this big line of all these munchkins. So.
Now, that mask that we didn't have before, was that the original Bill Tracy?
No, that was
What was originally in the bus?
the bus was put in maybe 10, 15 years ago. This is not a Tracy stuff.
What was there before that?
There was just nothing. Yeah.
I remember I was here when we had the box.
Right, yeah. This original cab.
Is he a shark? I missed him. Was he ugly?
Oh, was he cute?
Cute nothing. Oh,
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Thanks.
Hello,